Okay, I decided to have you guys watch me draw, and you're like literally okay. I'm just gonna draw things. You can see, I don't know how I do it. Okay. And also, I'm like maybe gonna talk. There's like wind out here and stuff, so. But I was gonna talk about this thing that I actually realized the other day as I was talking to a person at a dental office. He said the word Abdul, and I know Abdul is it's a name that like God gave. I don't know, just look up the thing, but I realized like what it meant, like in a way of like why God would use it to sort of like name a person who has been like sort of like spiritually activated. It's because if you think of it, it's A-B and then D-U-L, Abdul, right? And what is but hear it though, A and B, like if you have an A and a B, right? So you have a dark and a light, whatever, or you have a left and a right. It doesn't have to be good or bad. It's just A and B, okay? It's like two halves. And then the dual, right? There's two. So Abdul means, in my mind, it would mean that like the A and the B like sort of like overcame the dual, and then they realized that they were dual, and so it became their own like full being again, sort of like A plus B. So Abdul means you've overcome like the idea of like separation. Do you know what I mean? Or like duality. Not that like duality doesn't exist, like it totally exists, but it's how you view the duality, right? And everything else within it. But like the duality doesn't have to be, like I said, good or bad, okay? Good and bad is literally judgment. But, and we all know what feels good, okay? Like I don't think a lot of us really like it when like a child gets hurt or something like that, okay? But ultimately, if you look at it from a perspective of like, okay, if you look at this reality as if it's like a video game, okay, and it's created by God, okay, or I don't know, like a lot of people, okay, or an entity, okay, say like you didn't know who you were, and then you created a video game to experience a bunch of stuff, and learn and grow about who you are, and you created a whole bunch of avatars, and you went inside the game or whatever. Wouldn't you want to have all the experiences to learn from? Like, yeah. So you would want to experience all of it. It's sort of like, and I use this example of like Grand Theft Auto, okay, which, by the way, I know there's like certain things in Grand Theft Auto you can't do, which is good. Like, I don't think you can like go and like, I don't want to talk about it, but like, you know, like hurt children, whatnot, okay? Which is good. Yeah. Okay, so sorry. That was my one son. Okay. Parker, I don't like when you talk to me as if you're like ordering me to do things. I said I would, and I'll do it when in my own time. I love you. Yes, I love you. Gee whizzikers. I said I would do it. Sounds like he's like, right now, please.
Did he reply and say yes? Did he reply?
I'm filming right now.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Where was I? It doesn't matter. I love him. I just, you know, sometimes like, see, and this is just a part of life too. Like, I know when I was younger, I didn't really think of other people. I just thought of myself. So, and even me, maybe even me right now being like, oh, I want to film and talk, and, you know, it's like being selfish, but really it's like I told him I was going to do the thing he requested. It's just, like I didn't have to do it right that second. Like, I don't know. See, now I can't use this. I don't know. Whatever. Everything is learning and everything's experience. Okay, so basically I'm saying this. If you created a game, right? So that right there, what happened with my son, it's an experience to learn more about who I am. Okay. And it's whether or not I want to look at it from multiple different angles And that's how I sort of learn, okay? So essentially I can look at it from the angle of, wow, like I told him I was filming and he came out here and decided to like kind of like interrupt me. I feel like that's not very like respectful of my like being, okay? But then also I'm his mom, right? And if he needs me for something and whatever, like, you know, there's a bunch of different aspects, whatever. Okay, so basically I'm saying this, that if you were like a creator that created a game to learn from, right? You were learning in the game about who you were. Wouldn't you want to have all the experience, including the most heinous ones? And, you know, kind of like, it's like, wow, like, I don't know, I've said this before, like, this is why people watch horror movies, because it doesn't make them a bad person, but it's like the idea of sort of exploring that aspect of consciousness without having to actually like murder someone, right? But then also there are people who do murder people, and then it's like, you know, I don't know, but I'm just saying in that aspect there's no good and bad, right? It's just experience, okay? But that doesn't mean that you can go against someone else's free will. So I feel like taking another person's life is kind of like going against their free will, unless this was like a pre-contracted thing before you came into the game, that you both were like, oh, okay, we're gonna experience what it's like to be, just think of something horrible, okay? Fill in the blank. And you're gonna be the victim and I'm gonna be the victimizer, right? And ultimately, this is going to be like fuel for us to like learn and grow like who we are through the different aspects, because we're in a game where we literally forget that we are all connected. Like we forget that we all secretly deep down are on the same team. Okay. So we're going to go into the realm of like the white hats and the black hats, which is literally the game, you know, the Matrix game of separation or whatever. And we are going to, we're going to experience this stuff, right? So I feel like if we start looking at the things like that, you know, you can sort of start to like get rid of the idea that, so that's like the idea of like going beyond the duality, okay? But it doesn't mean you all of a sudden are like, oh wow, it's you know, we'll just do whatever we want. No, because literally we're all kind of like come in with like our pre-programs, which I think allow us, you know, I think literally the free will, if you will, in my idea, would be the ability to learn and grow from the experience. So it's like no matter what, you pre-contracted to like go through certain things, okay? And you forgot about it, right? And when you're on the other side, things are like so good that like you're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll go through being RAPED, you know, stuff like that. And because you just are like, oh, it's a game, it's not real, right? So the learning from it's going to be real, but ultimately when we go back to the other side, we're like, oh yeah, and it's like not real, right? But when we're here, it feels very fucking real, right? And it's designed that way. It's designed to feel fucking real because that is the that's the whole purpose, because we learn through, you know, feeling it, right? So I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just am like, I'm just drawing, and this guy is, I don't know, why is he like at the feet of this chick? I don't know. Sometimes my drawings just blend in, you know. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, I just had like a weird idea. Like, what if he was like holding a torch right here? Like, this is his hand, and then his arm goes down like this, and then it's like lit up and just like he's literally lighting a torch under her butt. To do what? To release a bird. Hold on, someone's calling me. Bye.